Ghana is a beautiful country located in the western part of Africa. Home to about 36 million people, the coastal nation is known for its footballing talent and global status as an African giant. But talent and status don't win you World Cups. Preparation does. With the 2026 FIFA World Cup approaching, a lot of conversations around Ghanaian football are already filled with hype, of course, optimism, nostalgia and emotion. I look to assess Ghana's preparedness for the 2026 World Cup in America, Mexico and Canada from two angles. The first one, administration and governance, and the second one, the team and technical side. Now in doing this, I will be able to give you a good idea of whether we are prepared to just participate or we are prepared to compete for this tournament. Ghana's recent tournament history tells a very important yet sad story. We did not feature in the last AFCON in Morocco, neither did we perform very well in the one in Ivory Coast. At recent World Cups, we have performances that have swung between moments of brilliance and periods of disorganization from both the team and as well as the technical overall GFA, which is the Ghana Football Association. Qualification alone is no longer the benchmark for being an African giant. You need to go above and beyond. The 2026 World Cup will be very different, of course. The first World Cup being hosted across three nations, the United States of America, Mexico and Canada. There'll be more teams, more exposure and more scrutiny from the fans who expect the very best of their players every World Cup tournament. And that means preparation will matter much more than reputation, because this tournament will expose the flaws in teams' systems, not just the skills on the pitch. So let's start off the pitch, because this is where I believe a World Cup will be won or lost. And we've seen a brilliant example of this in 2014, where the German Football Association was very much prepared for the World Cup and they went on to win it. The Ghana Football Association is in a much more stable position that it used to be a couple of years ago. Evidenced by this is the reappointment of Kurto Kroku a couple months ago. Now there is clearer leadership at the GFA, which is a very good thing to see because your structures need to look like they are functioning very well. And communication between the federation and technical team has improved compared to the past. Player scouting, which is one that I particularly like, within the diaspora has become a bit more structured, and we're seeing more players who are coming back home to play for the nation of Ghana. So yes, there is functioning there and things are improving. But then a good function doesn't equate good strategy being implemented. The biggest issue that we have, I believe, at the Ghana Football Association has to do with reactive planning. Too many decisions tend to feel short term, focusing on the next match, focusing on the next tournament, focusing on the main men's team and not giving positioning and focus on other things. If you have a system like this, it will mean that you would depend too much on a small group of individuals who tend to have the knowledge. And the knowledge being that understanding of the sports business and industry. Now, the Ghanaian league, in my opinion, isn't structured in such a way that you can see a sustainable model with top players within the league moving on to play for the national team and playing very well when they go for international tournaments. That disconnect is what is stifling sustainability. And if we want to be able to move away from a situation of that stifling, we need to move to better education, first of all, of individuals who work at the administration, and also better project planning, which can be very instrumental. Now, let's talk about the team, because this is where most fans focus on. Talent is not Ghana's problem. There is a strong core of Euro-based players who play in Ghana and those who play in other regions of the world. And we are known to be very athletic. And when we're playing our best games, when we're moving in transition as a team, we are known to be very dangerous on the ball. So, of course, we do not have a problem when it comes to our talent. What we do have a problem, which I've noticed time and time again, is that we tend to rely on individual brilliance. And albeit being beneficial at times, For a long-term plan, we can't do that because it means that when an individual is not able to perform at the very best in a particular game, the whole core of the team is broken, which is not the best for us. Tactically, the team lacks a consistent identity. The likes of England, Brazil, Italy, Spain, Germany tend to have an identity of the way that they play. But Ghana, we do not have one, which is quite sad. So we need to develop that. Additionally, our midfield control remains an issue. Even though we tend to have talented midfielders, we're still struggling to create a situation where they can work together. And game management is inconsistent. We sack and appoint coaches like no one's business, so there's no longevity in the role to be able to foresee the growth of the organization, also to foresee the growth of the players from the younger ages to the very senior ages. So we need to find a way to connect those things very well. This brings us to the real issue here. Is the GFA preparing to participate, or are they preparing to compete? I would love for them to prepare to compete. That way it makes it very exciting, and also Ghana, we can go far to potentially the semi-finals if God is on our side. We need the system to align with the talent so that we're very well prepared to go very far. Now there's a disconnect, and I believe and I hope that the individuals who run the Football Association of Ghana would find a way to connect the two. So this is my 2 pence on it. If we want to maximize this World Cup opportunity, we need to think quickly and deliberately. Number 1, we need a clear technical and performance roadmap that must be communicated to the technical staff as well as the players and also the fans, so that we understand how they're going to play, why they're going to play, and what impact may come from it. We need a tactical identity that needs to be defined early and aligned with the players. Semenyo, who is on a hot streak right now in the Premier League, will more or less be our darling boy. We need to find a way to connect his gameplay with the likes of Kudus and others so that they can give the very best for this tournament, because we do need that. I see that we're trying to secure friendlies, which is very good. Now, these friendlies have to be strategic in terms of how we want to potentially play against teams that will be playing at the World Cup, and how their playing styles will be. It shouldn't just be for ceremonial purposes. And we need to invest in data, invest in in-game management, and we need to invest in sports business so that we are very prepared to not only go to this competition, but to run it very well from our side and to give the very best on the pitch. So I will reiterate, the GFA is not in a crisis. No, we are way better than we used to be many years ago. But we can maximize our potential, especially for this World Cup. And we need to have a much more serious conversation of how we can develop that potential through educating people more and to bring the right people into the role. I'm confident that within time, the GFA will improve and Ghana can get to its potential. If you want honest, serious conversations about global football and other sports, subscribe to Speezy Sports.